joy comes in the morning light. So I march on to a new song, 'cause I've been marching to that old one way too long. And I gotta move on and take new steps every day, 'cause I know there has got to be another way. And a brighter day, so I march on.
Hello. Welcome to Pure Live. It is Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Of course, we have yet again another wonderful guest tonight, I know. And she is truly gifted, truly talented, and I'm excited to have her on the show. But you know how we do. First, we have a word from our sponsors. There we go. And I always tell you guys this is a great organization for you to be a part of. They are a group of Christian women, and they help to support you, help identify the steps you need to take to reach your goals, help us to get focused. And I mean, it's just a wonderful partnership that you get involved in. There are courses. And Miss Yasmin Brown, who's the head of this organization, is actually coming back on the show next week. So I look forward to seeing her there. And next we have Mother's Cosmetics, which I wear every week. There you go. Yes, absolutely. I know you noticed, well, you have to have noticed that they do with all types of skin tones, skin types. And on their site, once you go on there, they help identify what type of products you need to have. So it's very good to check out, and you will be able to see that on my website, hjamal.com or hjamal.net, and you will see Mo's Cosmetics at the top. Now, without further ado, we are going to introduce our guest for today, Miss Carolyn.
Hi.
Hey. Thank you for
Hello,
joining
Asia.
us. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me. I'm
You're
so
very
excited to be
welcome.
here.
Thank you for being on. So bubbly, looking ready to be a part of everything.
Oh, yes.
So, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
Okay. My name is Carolyn Fitzhugh. Um, I guess I should spell that Fitzhugh. I am a singer, composer, songwriter, recording artist, and performer.
So, you don't do anything at all.
No, pouring on me.
Wow, that is amazing, amazing. So I know that there's, nobody just came out the womb doing what they did as an adult, you know. So let's talk about your childhood. We're going to talk about little Carolyn. So what kind of things were you into, when you were a little kid?
Well, I like to jump double dutch.
Oh, okay. Were
That
you
was
good at
that was go outside and play in the summertime thing to do.
it?
But on the musical side, I started taking piano lessons at 5 years old, and
Wow.
we all had to.
Oh,
But I came from a pretty large family, but I was the one that kind of stuck with it. Matter of fact, when I was probably about 11 or 12, my piano teacher said she was tired. She was an older lady and she didn't want to do it anymore. So I begged her to, just stick with me. And she did. She gave me a couple more years. So by the time I went to high school, I got involved in music in other ways. So that's
okay.
that was the
So
early.
you said you said in other ways. What other ways?
Well, I was in the let's see, the we had a small combo band where I played keyboard, and I was in the, let's see, what do we call it, the choir. I went to a very small Catholic school, uh, so we had little teeny groups. So we had, I would say the choir in the school was probably, or what they might have called chorus then, was
Oh,
maybe, chorus was the class and choir was like an extra activity, which might have been about 10 students. So it was pretty small. So from there, I ended up playing in some of the bands, the R&B bands that the guys had. Mostly it was guys, playing the instruments and
mhm.
girls were singing. But the first year, my freshman year, I was in a group. We had to play for a nuns convention,
Oh.
and then I was singing. We had a performance at the Airy Crown Theater, and I'm telling you, we thought we were big time then. That was right. I was all of 14. And so, the guys played the music. It was two girls, myself, one of them. I was singing background for the other girls, but it was fun. But mostly the high school years and college too, I basically played piano. But I
Okay.
but I really love jazz. I my family, I would hear jazz around the house, and I just love the chord structure because I took classical piano,
Mhm.
and it was just different. Jazz was more embellished, and so I said, "Wow, I want to learn that." But it wasn't until I was in, I know you asked about the early years, but it wasn't until I was in college that I really started studying jazz. So I went to, well, although music wasn't my major, my major was accounting. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
kind of weird. It wasn't my choice.
Well,
But it was like that's what it had to be. But all my electives were music. So
okay.
while I was at Roosevelt, I also, after school, I was going to this school called Bloom School of Jazz. I
Hmm.
think it's still active, but they
Okay.
taught jazz improv for the active musician, for the performing artists, who is
Okay.
singing, gigging, and I wasn't doing any of that. The most
Oh.
I sang with the the university jazz band. But
Okay.
the this Bloom School of Jazz, I wanted to learn so much more that I started going there. It was on Rush Street, and it was so cool because people came in at all different levels, and I took voice jazz vocals there, and I also took jazz improv where I played piano with a small group. So
Mm.
we were all taking lessons from the instructor. So there was a drummer, a trumpeter, I was on piano, a bass player, and he was teaching us how to groove with each other. So it was kind of neat.
Oh,
And that was the
okay.
format of the class. It was like 6 week lessons. So that was
Wow, that sounds fun.
it was so much fun. It was amazing. And then the vocal class, it was like 4 or 5 singers. They wouldn't take too many at a time. They just get a few of us, and basically we you had different levels of experience, but
Mhm.
most of us were kind of at the beginner level, and some people didn't have any instrument training or any music formal music training, but they just loved jazz and the way it sounded, so they wanted to be more cabaret. And so it was really fun to hear the different styles of music collaborate. And
Yeah.
the instructor, she really was good at pulling out each of our strengths. And she said, find. I remember she told us, find your strength, that thing you
Mm.
have that nobody else has, and develop that.
Okay. I
Yeah, so
like that.
that was pretty cool.
So you know how to read music then?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I lost that. I learned in grammar school and did not keep it. I did not.
It's not too late. It's never too late.
It's true. It's not too late. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna
If
learn, but
if
it's
you have
not
the
too late.
interest, if you have the interest.
That's the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it really is.
So, I mean, it sounds like you were just a good little girl. 'Cause I
I
did this because
tried.
I was told. I did this because I was told. Were there things that you wanted to get into but didn't get a chance to because of your structure?
Um, I really wanted to major in music. I really, matter of fact, my music teacher at school begged my parents to let me major in music, and they said, "No way, this girl is gonna have to be able to take care of herself." So that was, that was a no. That was, I guess,
Mm,
um, there's a lot of starving musicians. We know that.
this is true.
Yeah, but that was, their mindset. And I was really, I mean, we all took piano lessons, but I was really the only one that had a passion for music.
Okay.
So really having a piano in the home when I was coming up, everybody had one. You know,
Oh.
everybody on the block had that piano on the wall that held pictures or ready to furniture, collected dust. It's
Mhm.
funny. All my friends on the coming up, we all had pianos in the house. Some of them nobody ever played, nobody ever
Oh
touched.
wow.
They may have taken piano lessons for
Mhm.
6 months and begged to get out of it. I'd rather do sports or whatever. But that's just the way it was then. And, the pianos were not expensive. You could buy a used one for maybe $200 or $300. And then
What?
kids, whatever kids are in the house, they could learn. And I
Mm.
remember my grandmother used to say, um, knowing music helps you with math. So that was her thing.
Okay.
It's like if you can play an instrument, you'll be good at math.
I've never heard that one. What's the rationale behind that?
I think it's because really music is a numbering system. Like even the keys is like 13 keys between if you look at a piano,
Right.
between the white and the blue keys. And the distance is more geometry, like a 1 and 5 or okay, C and G. So I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible
Okay.
for maybe
Yes,
someone who
please.
doesn't play an instrument,
Mhm.
but it's like, CD, do, re, mi, fa, so.
Right.
So notice, do to so is five. So it is really a numbering uh, system in the major scale,
Okay.
but scale too, 1 to 5. But it's sort of a mathematical thing, but it's an instinct thing too. I mean, I don't like to be overly technical.
Mhm.
I think it's nice to learn the roots of things,
Yeah.
but then we got to blossom.
Right. Yeah, there's that.
Yep.
But I do appreciate that explanation. I've never heard it put like that before.
I didn't understand it at first when she would say that. She's like, "Oh, you have to learn music, so you'll be good at math and in the calculations and stuff." But musicians who are can play music in any key, they basically calculate the math in their head to change from this key to that key or whatever. If that's good for a singer.
Okay. Now you're giving me some stuff to ask my other family members about. How do you do this? How do you talk to this? Because Carolyn told me.
Wait, you have proof too.
I do. It's recorded.
Yeah.
So let me know what kind of influences did you come up with? What made you say, "Ooh, I want to sound like that," or "Ooh, I want to do that"?
Well, I'll start with the visual.
Okay.
Um, when I was a little girl, Nancy Wilson was on TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that was the time where people would really get excited about seeing somebody black on TV. Black people would be,
Right.
it was like, okay, don't talk, don't, right? So there was a show called the Ed Sullivan Show. So Nancy Wilson uh, would be on there, and I just thought she was so classy,
Oh.
the way she carried herself.
Mm.
And I think because she sang jazz, as well, the Supremes were pristine too.
True.
But the way she carried herself and delivered songs, I was attracted to the storytelling.
Mm.
And then when I really started listening to jazz and, Sarah Vaughan and Ella Fitzgerald and of course Abby Lincoln is, I would say she's the major storyteller influence. Just the way she delivered,
Mm.
and she was just special. I just put it there.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So that was your visual. So what's next? Your
Oh, I guess I combined a little bit. The music, I loved a lot of male singers too.
okay, like who?
Uh, yeah, like Joe Williams. And then in R&B, I loved Earth, Wind and Fire. Although I know they had the emotions back there doing some background singing.
Yes, they did their
But
thing.
I was a huge harmony person. I think because I fell into the alto range,
Okay.
I love harmony. And the piano really helped with being able to hear that middle. But gosh, I love harmony so much.
Harmony's fun.
And yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I love group combo singers, but I love Joe Williams because yeah, this is a funny one. I love Joe Williams, Barry White, and who's the other one? Because they sounded like men. Now,
Hmm.
no offense, no offense to the tenors out there, but something about the deep bass voice. I was like, ooh.
You said, okay, sing to me. All
But
right.
I like that, and Lou Rawls too.
Mm.
They could just kind of, but I love Eddie Kendricks too. I mean, he was up there high, and Philip Bailey is still up there really high. uh, with Earth, Wind and Fire,
Yeah.
But I love both. I would say for the female singers, mostly jazz female singers. For male singers, I think I might have had a crush on a few.
Oh,
So,
okay.
maybe, maybe that's where that came from.
Maybe so. It's like, this seems to be a time. All right.
Of course, the Jacksons. But I think my influences are all over the place because I love Bette Midler.
Okay.
Uh, something about the way she sang "The Wind Beneath My Wings."
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful
It
song.
is.
Yeah, Donny Hathaway was a big one for me. Stevie Wonder.
Ooh, wee. Yeah, those voices.
Yeah,
Mm.
and Layla Hathaway. She has Donny's tone. That tone is just so amazing.
Yes. Make the hairs on your arms and your neck stand up. Give you chills. It's like, wow, how'd you
All
do
that.
that?
Right, right. I think it's like people who can take a song that maybe everybody sings. And that's the thing, one thing about jazz, I hate to jump all over the place, that I love was that they could take a song like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and 40 people will record that same song, and it'll all be different. It is all special in their own kind of way. And the same thing with the musicians, with the instrumentalists. They could take that one song and just take it to a different level.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that creativity really kind of stuck with me.
Yeah,
That it wasn't exactly the same every time.
I do love that. I call it like it's like the rainbow of music. All the different
Yeah.
types.
Yep. All the
Absolutely.
different colors.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of, I'm going to pause in the conversation here because we're going to get into more of you and what you've been up
Okay.
to. But
Okay.
first, we're going to take a little break. Then we're going to get into the game Find Faith.
All
All
righty.
right. So you guys pay attention. You'll have a chance to guess, and you can win a prize. But for those of you that are on YouTube, this is what I want you to do first. Subscribe. All right, and we're gonna play this trailer, and we'll be right back with you.
Hi, I'm Asia Jamal Rogers, and I'm a singer, songwriter, choreographer, voice actor, and I'm the creator and talk show host of P.U.R.E Live. P.U.R.E is an acronym for Perfectly Undefined Raw Elegance, so naturally we want our content to be pure, raw, and elegant. It airs live every Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. And if you'd like to see all of the episodes, you can reach it at asiajamal.com, ASIAJAMAL.com. Or if you'd like to be on the show, you can reach me at asia@asiajamal.com. Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you
That was
soon.
nice.
Thank you. And obviously, I've grown a little bit since that recording because I am off on Twitter now and LinkedIn. So, oh, and Twitch. I'm everywhere. You have no excuses. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to play the game Find the Faith. You are going to see 4 statements, and you have to guess which one of those statements is false. If you guess correctly, you can win a prize. And we have expanded our prize pool. So here we go. ahead and put your guesses in for now. We will not tell you the answer until later. And before we get back into the conversation, we have a video to play for you. Do you want to set that up, Carolyn?
Sure, sure. Well, in 2018, I I recorded a CD that was released in 2019 called "Living in Peace," and so I reached out to Mark Ruffin. Mark Ruffin was a DJ in Chicago for many years. He had oh gosh, I can't remember the radio program, but it was real popular in the 90s. Uh, it was on WNUA. But he's now on satellite radio with a television. I'm sorry, not television. Radio satellite radio program called Real Jazz. He's a radio programmer, and he also produces singers, jazz singers, CDs. So I reached out to him, and he said, "But I don't know you." I said, "That's okay, you can."
I'm gonna make this happen.
So I sent him my first CD, and he he was like, he's like, "Did you wrote some of these songs?" I said, "Yeah," and that's what sold him over, that I am a composer, and that's something that was different from the other people he produced. So he agreed. So I've made several trips back and forth to New York and recorded the CD "Living in Peace."
Mhm.
And Mark was so instrumental in such a wonderful way. He arranged for me to have a duet with the late Freddie Cole, who was Nat King Cole's brother and Natalie Cole's uncle, but an amazing singer and pianist himself. So we sang a song that he had recorded in the 80s, but I always loved the song.
Oh.
It's called "I Am Alone." And so I said I wanted to sing it. And then Mark called me one day and he said, "Well, what do you think about doing a duet with Freddie Cole?" And I was like, "Get out of here." Is he even not touring? I mean, is he even in the States right now? The real Freddie Cole? And my gosh, when I met him, I almost fell to the floor. But
Wow.
just a wonderful person. So I just, that's one of my favorites on the CD. But anyway, I recorded all of that in New York, and there was a videographer that was there, and he's also the photographer for the CD, but he videoed a lot of the recording time and some interview time that we spent with the producer and the arranger, Amina Figueroa. So that was fun.
Okay.
That was fun. And so this trailer kind of introduces the album, Living in Peace, and how it came together.
Okay. So here we go.
Major, minor, keeping it in step. Let me hear you. You got to teach me your sweet harmony, music, sweet music. You're the queen of my soul. Music, sweet music.
I started piano lessons when I was 5 years old. Everybody in the family in the house took piano lessons, but I was the one child that had really a passion for music. Playing the piano has influenced what I do vocally. So as far as improv and also just those tones and the lines and everything, I try to stay in the family of the voice being a musical instrument. Some of my biggest influences were Dizzy Gillespie, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire. I grew up in the 70s, so that music kind of stuck with me. And
Mark Ruffin, great producer, very good friend of mine, introduced me Carolyn through her song Living in Peace. And when I heard this song, it mesmerized me. And the way she told that story and the story itself, and there was a color in her voice that totally captured me. So I was very curious to meet her and work with her.
I met Mark Ruffin last year. I didn't know him when he lived in Chicago, but he has just added so much to this record in his production role. It's one of the selections that I composed on the record, music and vocals, is called Living in Peace. And I wrote this song. It came from a personal experience about needing to live a peaceful life.
When truth is denied and all that's aside, they beg for the right to take secrets to their grave. When living in peace is still an option.
But I knew Amina would be right for this because she has an incredible imagination when it comes to music, and her band is incredible. Her band is filled with guys who are all first call musicians.
Working with Freddie Cole has been such a special treat on this record. He is such a gentleman, and his sound is so classic and at ease, and his timing is just impeccable. He's just a remarkable musician and singer.
We approached Freddie about doing the record. At first he was reluctant, and I think what it was, he met Carolyn.
I feel like we have a certain kinship because he, of course, plays the piano and sings.
Without really hearing it, he kind of agreed. But then once we sent Amina's arrangement, Freddie was all in.
But we thought about maybe putting a different spin on some more contemporary songs, and that has been quite an adventure to sing with these songs that we've always known. For example, Average White Band's Queen of My Soul, and a Prince song called Stroll It.
We could stroll the mezzanine, buy some dirty magazines, laugh behind it while we're eating ice cream. Strolling, we could have fun just strolling, rock and rolling. Oh, yeah.
And I am a big believer in the new standard. The new standard is a form that Herbie Hancock and a singer from Chicago named Patricia Barber really popularized in the 90s. Herbie from his album called The New Standard. And what it is, all the great singers, Sarah, Ella, they all started singing songs they grew up with. And later in jazz, modern jazz musicians didn't do that until, again, Herbie Hancock, I think, and Patricia Barber kind of gave people license. So I started looking for what I considered new standards, or songs that I thought Carolyn would know, or things she grew up on in the 70s or the 80s. And it worked, it clicked.
And then this incredible collaboration with Mark, who has such an incredible knowledge of music, and he brought on the table very, very diverse and interesting music written by Prince, Average White Band, Gil Scott-Heron, James Taylor. And my job was to, of course, make the arrangement to bring this whole together.
I'm just going to have to brag on Amina for a minute. She just has such creative ideas in putting together the music, and it just really came so naturally, and the sound is full and complete. It's just music to make you smile.
And you can tear this moment down, and you can make me explain every little thing and every situation. But life turns itself around.
forgot I was doing a show for a second.
Me too. I was like, oh, I remember that.
I was just so lost in the music. Oh, your voice is so beautiful and rich.
Thank
Oh,
you.
so
Thank you
soothing.
so
I
much.
love hearing it. I need more. I need more. Wow, wow. So, okay, so that was the trailer for Lemon Keys, um, and beautiful cover, by the way. Very photogenic.
Thank you.
So, and you have this Simply Amazing. Is that coming soon, or?
Simply Amazing was the first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay.
Yeah, Simply Amazing was released in 2016.
Okay.
And that was a local project produced by Larry Brown Jr. and myself. A lot of people might know him. He's a guitar player, plays around a lot. Very talented. He writes music too.
Excellent. And where
And
can everybody get this music?
oh, on Amazon for streaming, or you can get a CD.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out
Yes.
there. Yeah, just look at Carolyn Fitzhugh, Fitzhugh.
You better tell it. Better tell them
Yeah,
your name. And have your
right.
social media as well.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I have the business page and Carolyn Fitzhugh Music, and also my personal page, Carolyn Fitzhugh. I put a lot out there. I also have YouTube. I have a YouTube page that has all of the music that's on both CDs listed.
Oh, nice.
So so you can listen to everything, the whole CD on YouTube. But I know you'd rather have your
Of
own,
course. But of course.
right? And it's available for streaming too. On I think Apple still has iTunes, still
Yes.
has it. You know, I went through that whole CD Baby distribution, so they send
Oh,
it
okay.
everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
definitely
just
do.
most people when it was released, when both were released, they were going to Amazon mostly because we're all Amazon junkies.
I know. Isn't that crazy? The Amazon takeover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's available out there, and I'm also on my website, carolynfitzhughmusic.com. I have snippets of all of the music, the trailers on there, and also, did I put the video? Not sure, but the trailer's out there. Trailers out there, samples of the music, ways you can contact me, and upcoming dates, performances. I keep on the website also.
So speaking of that upcoming, you let me know you have something going on at the promontory.
Yes, the Promontory Afternoon Delight, produced by Joan Colasso. She has
Oh,
once a month she has an artist come in. So I am going to forgive me, put on my glasses
okay.
so I can read the details.
Yes, you gotta do.
Thank you. Thank you for being so forgiving.
You're welcome. I can't see either.
Okay, okay, so I'm not alone.
Nice. I'm wearing contacts.
If they have reader contacts, well, they probably do, but I never needed glasses before I needed readers. So that just kind of changed my world.
I understand.
Yeah, but it's this coming Thursday. I am so sorry I didn't have this pulled up right away. Okay, here we go. There's two performances. Oh, starts at 1, I think 1 to 2, and then 2:30 to 3:30.
Okay.
So we have two sets, and it's in the afternoon, Thursday, $15. I'm just gonna see if does that work? Probably not.
Oh, no,
Not so
not too
good.
much, but kind of.
Unfortunately, she didn't give me. I don't have a paper copy, but it's Thursday, June 29th. And if you go to my website, there's a link where you can get tickets.
Okay, and it's on Eventbrite too, correct?
I'm sorry.
It's on Eventbrite as well.
It's yes, yes. The link goes to Eventbrite. Right. It takes you to Eventbrite.
And tell us that website again so I can put it up for you.
Okay. It is,
Carolyn?
well, actually, she's got this code here. Maybe I can, the screening.
Oh, well, what's
Just,
your website so I can
oh,
have people
no.
go to it?
Oh, Carolyn, Carolyn,
Mhm.
Fitzhugh, Fitzhugh, music.com. I know it's
Music.com.
long.
It's all
Get
right.
rid of
There you
it.
go. So y'all write that down.
There you go.
CarolynFitzhugh.com. It didn't take me long.
That's it. Nope.
Excellent, excellent. So, what other than that is next for Miss Carolyn?
Well, of course, we went through this, all of us went through this traumatic experience called COVID.
Indeed.
And
Still
most
recovering.
of my, yes, 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 most of my music activity took place what I call BC.
Before COVID.
BC and AD. BC is before COVID. But I'm starting to write again and do a few more performances. Um, I've been, I want to add this. I've been taking some vocal strengthening treatments
Hmm.
because I think it's important for any if anybody's a singer out there, it's an ongoing thing maintaining our instrument.
It is. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we think, oh, I did that 30 years ago. I don't have to do that again. But just like other things change with aging, the voice changes too. And I learned so much from going to vocal therapy about how to maintain the voice at different stages in life. And also, sometimes we pick up bad habits. I mean, it just happens.
Yeah.
So, and it gives a little wear and tear, but it's nice to get grounded. So that's kind of what I was doing like during COVID time is really trying to hone in on just making sure there's no pain, avoid straining as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we want to be in the Olympics and do acrobatics with that would be, be that Patty LaBelle,
Right.
which is a
It
gift.
is. An amazing
That
gift.
is a gift.
Yes.
Yes. God bless Patty LaBelle. I never but we have what we have and we can always enhance and improve. So I'm a very firm advocate for vocal health.
Mm,
So I've been doing a lot of that and so grateful for what I've learned. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that's really good.
yeah.
um, I have discovered recently on just singing through a straw and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty neat, just to keep us in the right place.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
music changes, our voices change, our health changes. But right now, you know, I'm I'm gigging when I can, but I really kind of want to hone in on writing more,
Mm.
getting back to that on the Simply Amazing CD. I wrote five of the songs on here. There's 8 tracks on this one, and I
Oh,
wrote five of the songs on here. And then this Living in Peace, I wrote four. I think it's 13 tracks. It's a lot of
okay.
music on that one. But I love to write, and part of that loving to write comes from people like Abby Lincoln, who I think the songs and the singers and musicians that I've always been drawn to are the ones who compose or who write lyrics, or because it's like you're giving an offering
Mm.
almost, that you're really reaching out to people. It's not so much that we want to receive so much, but you're giving a piece of yourself of your experiences, and just hoping that maybe it can help somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially with Living in Peace, that particular, that's the title track of that album, but that song was really about, and it's almost prophetic because the times we're living in today compared to when I wrote it,
Hmm. Well.
really, yeah,
Mm,
we really need to be able to find that place of peace.
yes. Yes.
Find that place of peace because people are so angry now, and you know, I don't mean to get political, but all this shooting and stuff going on is, it's just, I think sometimes if we just take a deep breath.
Yes. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh yeah, it's a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's every day.
Yes.
It's every day, and I don't know too many people who haven't been touched by a lot of just craziness going on. But just listen to good music.
Yes. Yes.
Back in the day, we listened to the radio. The music kind of chilled us out a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. That I listen to music as much as I can. Obviously, I can't do it when I'm in meetings. But
Yeah,
outside of that, I have like three main playlists that I have that I will make sure I go through throughout the day just to keep my
yeah,
soul, keep me level. It's,
it
it's
works too,
healing,
doesn't
you know,
it? Yes,
necessary.
healing.
Yes,
That is such so apropos that it is healing.
absolutely.
Because we don't have all the answers. We got some of them, but not
No,
all.
we sure don't. I wish I
Yeah.
had like, man, this is what I was supposed to do with this. But yes,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I am going to ask you, and you can think on this while we go back over the game for a second. But
Okay.
I am going to ask you to give your words of wisdom to the audience. But before we do that, we're going to replay. We're going to rerun this game, find the fake. No one gave answers, so you lost out on this prize. But we're going to go ahead and tell you what
I know the answer. I
it
know.
is. So I'm gonna play it one time for you guys, and then Sarah's gonna tell you what the answer is. Remember, the premise of the game is to figure out which one's the fake. Here we go. All right. So, Miss Carolyn, which one was the fake?
I was born in Miami, Florida.
That was the fake. Oh my goodness. You told me that was
I
the
was born in Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, hey, Chicago. Yes, and you
Yep.
guys are paying attention. She is the only guest that did not start off with where she's from. Like, can't give
Yes,
it away
there's
right
a clue.
away.
Wow.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's amazing. So, before we get into your words of wisdom, federal agent
You
though.
know, I did think about it, and I have something. I have two, but I narrowed it down to one.
Okay, okay.
um, if and this is to singers, right?
It's to whoever you mean it to.
To have okay, this could apply to anything. But if there's something that you really feel you want to do, but you can't see the path or see how you're going to get there, or and I'll use it in a music realm. Um, if say, okay, I'm gonna give this away. I was in my 50s when I recorded the first CD.
Hmm.
And that's something I wanted to do. But, I had a family. I was married. I was a federal agent. All these things. I always had a passion and love for music, but it just was not enough space for um, life.
Mm.
Let's call it life because we all have to deal with life.
Mhm.
And sometimes you may not get the support of people. You can do this.
Right.
That
Mhm.
push you need. You can still do it. You can still do it. Work hard. Get the training you need. I sing in a choir too, and um, sometimes people approach me like, "Well, I want to be able to do this," and you talk to them. I was like, "Okay, breathe through your diaphragm, and get it out of here, and all that."
Mhm.
They don't have a clue what you're talking about.
We don't.
I had to tell the director. I was like, "Stop telling them being all technical, because people they want to know. They're hungry for it."
Right.
but but they don't understand what you're talking about.
Mhm.
So if you want to know something, don't be afraid to ask. And if the person you're asking doesn't have the answer, get some lessons. Take a class. Go. It's you will not lose anything by investing in yourself. Even if it's like you save up to have one class, a beginner's class, take that beginner's class or work with a trainer or whoever, a coach. Say, I can only do 2 lessons right now. Can you give me what you think will impact my voice the most right now for just these 2 classes? You take that, record those classes, and perfect
There you
it.
go.
Just work with what you got,
Yes.
and then get a little more. Just have set up some type of regimen where I don't hate to use that word because it's harsh, but have some kind of plan of growth, plan to grow. Here I am today,
Right.
but I want to be here, but I got to get to here first. It's nothing wrong with baby steps.
Right.
It's nothing wrong. And if the doors aren't opening, you never know. It's not too late. If you're still breathing, it's not too late.
I like that. Amen. I agree 106%.
All right.
A little humor. And that's funny about the breathe with your diaphragm. Oh, I
Yeah.
have heard that all my life. So I, so I know what it means. And when I started giving other people lessons, I just pointed to the fact that you naturally breathe from your diaphragm. When you're talking, your breathing from
Yeah.
up here, you're not, you know, you're naturally breathing. So let's talk it out first and see where your breathing is coming from. Now we want to keep that going when you sing. And helping them understand
Yeah.
that instead of breathing from your diaphragm has, really helped them to understand what I was telling them to do and then
Yeah.
experience the difference.
Right. Right. It's funny how you have to communicate things in a different way. Like I always tell them to yawn like you're really sleepy. What happens in your stomach when you like, oh, I gotta go to bed?
Right. That
That's
expansion.
right here.
Yeah.
See what happens when you do that.
Hmm.
Like, you want me to sing like that? That's weird.
It's natural though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
natural.
Hmm.
But it kind of, we gotta use what we gotta use to connect the dots.
Right. Exactly. Meet them on
Yeah.
their level.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then they can just blossom.
Yes, absolutely. And hopefully we'll have many more Carolyns out there. We can hear that beautiful music.
And Asia. And more songbirds.
We're both songbirds, guys. We have the same nickname.
Right, right.
So
Let me
funny.
ask you, did somebody else name you Songbird?
Yes, yes.
Me too.
It was actually somebody that,
They yelled it out at a performance.
wow. For me, it was somebody that actually prophesied over me, and she called me
Oh,
Songbird.
oh wow, how
So
beautiful.
yeah, we're connecting on different levels here.
I know, it's
It
amazing.
is absolutely. And y'all heard her talk about
Mm,
Aunt Abby. I told y'all about my Aunt Abby Lincoln. Don't sleep on it.
yeah.
Don't sleep
Oh,
on it. Um,
wow. That's
so
Well, you have a very rich legacy.
I know, it's intimidating sometimes, but it is such a blessing. It really is. Um,
Yeah.
so I predict that we will speak to each other again. We'll probably connect again. So I look forward to that moment. And thank you so much for being on
I
the
as
show.
well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
You're very welcome. And to everybody else, remember to embrace God's perfect design, which is you. Until next time, we'll be here Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Good night.
Bye bye.
We